Hey guys, welcome to What Was Mommy Thinking? My name's Crystal. I'm a full-time working mom of 3 very incredible busy boys, and my husband and family and I live in Texas. Today starts a new series on What Was Mommy Thinking. It is all about getting freezer meals made, prepped, and in your freezer for your family so that you don't have to worry about dinner. You don't have to not have an answer when somebody asks what's for dinner. And it also helps you do things like have meals on hand if you need to take a meal to someone, or if someone's not feeling well, or just to be a little bit more prepared and reduce how much you're grabbing convenience foods or eating out. For my family of 5, we have some dietary restrictions with gluten-free and low sodium that really prohibit us from being able to eat out, so this is a must. So if you are interested in how to start freezer cooking and how to prepare for it so that you can do this for your family, then you don't want to miss this series. I'm thinking it's going to be somewhere around 5, 6, maybe even 7 videos if you include the actual cooking of the meals. So if you're interested in seeing how we get started, stick around and let's get at it. Okay guys, so before we get too far into this, if you want me to do more of this and continue this series, please make sure that you hit that subscribe button, that you hit the thumbs up button, give the video a like, and that you leave me a comment below. I wanted to turn this into something kind of fun and maybe do a giveaway at the end of it, maybe something that I use during freezer cooking that people really like. Maybe I could give one of those away, but let me know what you think about that in the comments. So if you are new here, I am a full-time working mom. I have 3 boys. One of my children has a cardiac condition that prohibits the amount of sodium that he can consume. He also has food allergies. And then my husband is gluten allergic. He has a gluten allergy. So meals that I make for all 5 of us have to either have a gluten-free component or be completely gluten-free, and they also have to be very low sodium. So in addition to that, all 3 of my boys play sports, so protein is really important for us. And as most families, we are living on a budget, so keeping costs down and trying to make sure that we have nutritious food to eat in a pinch is really important for us as well. I have been freezer cooking for, oh my gosh, I looked back and I think it's been about 16 years. I've been freezer cooking and putting meals away for about 16 years. I've gotten to the point now where I've done it long enough and I'm comfortable enough with the process that I only have to do it 2, sometimes 3 times a year. So for me personally, and I do it different than other people, you can find tons of people out there that meal prep and do freezer cooking. For me personally, I do it in 5 phases. So if you've watched any of my videos, you know I'm all about being organized and really planning for anything big and most things small. So today I wanted to give you an introduction to what those 5 phases were and to go through phase 1 with you. So the first phase is to go through your recipes, your cookbooks, whatever resources that you have on hand. Most people who cook have a list of meals that their family just really enjoys eating. So whatever that is, figuring out if A, it is freezable, and B, if it is freezable, do you freeze it before you cook it or after you cook it? And then just write everything down. So it's just kind of like a brain dump of everything that you can possibly think of. Sorry, my German Shepherd's going to contribute. So it's a brain dump of everything that you can think of as far as meal ideas for your freezer meal cooking session. So go through everything. I thought I would show you guys what that looks like for me. So for me, that looks like this. I pull out my favorite cookbooks. One of them is this One Pot Meals by Gooseberry Patch. If you guys don't know who Gooseberry Patch is, I'm not even sure exactly where they're from. It says here Columbus, Ohio. So even if you're from up north, Gooseberry Patch is something that I grew up learning how to cook with different recipes from Gooseberry Patch. I love their stuff. It's very much comfort food, home cooking type of thing. I have a couple of the Gooseberry Patch cookbooks. They come in these, or the ones that I have. I'm sure that the newer editions come in a different binding. But they've got the little plastic binding on them. And there's a couple of really good recipes in here that freeze well. So a recipe can be great and your family can absolutely love it, but if it doesn't freeze well and reheat well, then it's not for freezer cooking. You're just gonna waste your time and your money buying the ingredients, and it's just not gonna work out. Okay, so the second cookbook that I pulled out for this particular freezer cooking session is my Best Love Slow Cooker Recipes cookbook. This is, I wanna say, I don't know, it's old. Not terribly old, nothing like that. But this has a lot of really good recipes in it, but I mostly use this one. This one was copyrighted in 1998. So it's about 22, 23 years old. This cookbook for me is when I'm doing freezer meal cooking, just freezer meal cooking, this is for my soups. So in the fall, when I'm doing freezer meal cooking right before back to school, I do go ahead and do 5 or 6 different soups that freeze really well so that I can get those in the freezer and we can have those, because as we get into sports and things in the fall, it gets cooler in the cooler months. And so we like to have soup on hand to just pull out, thaw, and eat with some crusty bread and a salad maybe, or a sandwich of some type. So this is where I pull my soups from in the fall. Another one is this little, it's almost like a magazine, and it is the Taste of Home Ultimate Freezer Meals. Ultimate Freezer Cookbook, I'm sorry. So it's a little magazine type, and there's literally one recipe in here that I consistently go back to, and it's the one that's on the cover. It's the chicken enchiladas. This recipe is delicious. Everybody in my family loves it. I'm able to make it a little bit a lot lower sodium and gluten-free by using corn tortillas. It freezes and reheats beautifully and my family loves it. And then lastly is the Holy Grail, if you will, the book of all books. This is my go-to for so many recipes. Even if I'm not freezing, this cookbook is you guys have heard me call it my Holy Grail. This is Seriously Good Freezer Meals by Carrie Truman. As you can see from the spine of it, I use this all the time. All the time. So I've tabbed recipes in it that we like, and that's a lot of them, y'all. So what I did for this freezer meal session, I just sat down, I took all of these cookbooks, and I said, okay, I have to keep in mind that we're going to be out a lot. We're going to be away from home. We've got 3 different kids playing 3 different sports. We're both working full time. There's a lot going on. So I have to kind of keep those things in mind. And another thing that I did last night, which I should not have done, I should not have tackled, is I went through my 3-ring binder of recipes, and you guys, it was like a 4-inch that you could barely, like I couldn't have got anything else in it. And I went through and I whittled it down to this. This is all that's left. If you guys had any idea how much had been in there, this would shock you, because it shocks me. So a couple of the recipes that I will be making are in this stack. Then I made a master list, right? Not fancy. It's just a piece of my kids' leftover notebook paper from school. This is my brain dump. This is all of the meals that I thought would work for this freezer cooking session, and they are on this list. So that completes phase 1. This is as far as I have to get in order to complete phase 1, right? I have browsed all of my recipes. If you don't have recipes, you can look online or you can watch YouTube videos, other things like that. But I've gone through everything and I've made a brain dump list, and I'll see if I can show you guys a little closer view of it. So it's got breakfast, it's got appetizers and snacks and side dishes, main dishes, and then some like treats or little desserts down at the bottom. And this is just a brain dump, right? This is the first initial getting started kind of list. So that is how you start, and that is what you have to get done before you move on to phase 2. In my next video, I'm going to share with you guys a detailed breakdown of my phase 2. I'm going to go ahead and tell you guys what those other phases are for this video, just so that you get kind of an idea. If you're going to do this and you're going to make more than 5 or 6 meals, you want to start planning this well in advance. So for me, that's usually 4 to 6 weeks, because when I freezer meal prep, I don't make 5 or 6 meals and double them. I usually end up making somewhere between 20 and 30 meals. It's a lot. And I've gotten to the point where my comfort and my confidence level in doing that is such that I'm okay with that. So right now I started working on this past week, so very beginning of July, and I don't plan on doing this weekend until mid to late August, like right before or maybe the weekend of school starting back up. So I've already like looked at my calendar, so that's phase 2. As you look at your calendar, you pick your weekend. And when I say a weekend, you need 2, preferably 3 days. I take 3. Because for me, grocery shopping in and of itself is at least 1 day. I spread mine out, like I'll do my non-perishables and shelf-stable stuff, and I will save veggies and meats for like the weekend of. So if I'm gonna do my meats and veggies on Saturday, then I'm gonna have to come home and I'm gonna have to prep, which means chopping all the veggies, browning all the meat, that sort of stuff, and get everything laid out so that when I get up on Sunday and it's time to cook, that I'm ready to go. So phase 2 is planning your weekend, and I will get into a bunch more detail about that in the next video. Phase 3 is taking this list of meals and turning it into a realistic list, and then really starting to plan out. Phase 4 is where we do our shopping and our food prep, and phase 5 is the day of making all the freezer meals. So I'm going to do a detailed video on each of those phases. We'll do phase 2 next, and you guys will get to go along with me as I do it. And then I will do my cooking weekend and video as much of that as I can, and the end product that I can, show you all the tools and stuff that I'm going to use along the way, how I lay everything out, what kind of preparations I make with my family and my friends, and uncommit myself from other things. We're going to get into all of that. So if you want to join me for that journey, I would love to have you. It's going to be so much fun. I haven't done this big of a freezer meal since last year at this time. I've done some smaller ones because it's what I had time and resources to do. But this is a big one, you guys, and I'm so glad that you're going to be along for this journey. So make sure that you hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, and stick around. You don't want to miss out on this series. It's going to be great. I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care of yourselves and be well. Bye-bye. Okay guys, I know I said goodbye already, but I thought I would give you a closer view of what cookbooks that I'm going to be using for this freezer meal session, in case you guys are interested in checking them out from your local library. This is the Gooseberry Patch One Pot Meals, Flavor Without the Fuss, Home Cooked Dinners Your Family Will Love. I got it at the bookstore where I used to teach at the University of Florida, and it was on a discount, so that was really cool. But as you can see here, they are from Ohio, and all of their recipes are sent in from people around the country. So each recipe, it tells you who it came from and where they live, and then it gives you a little sentence up top, like this one says, if your grocery store doesn't carry the bellflower shaped campanile pasta, just substitute rotini or penne pasta. And then down at the bottom, it'll give you a little hint, like, for the quickest ever candlelit atmosphere, set several lighted tea lights on the tabletop with metal cheese graters on top, and it'll cast the same twinkling glow as pierced tin lanterns. So I just love these cookbooks. I've got 2 of them. I've got the one pot meal one, and then I think I have like a slow cooker or family one. So that's a really great cookbook. This next one that I told you guys about, you can see my little post-it note on here. I've got 5 soups in here. 2 of them I have to actually cook before I freeze. 3 of them are just dump in the bag and go. I don't remember where I got this cookbook. Like I told you, it was published in 1998. I've had it a really, really long time. And so it's got some really good recipes in it. But when I freeze or cook, I use this for the soups. And we prefer savory soups. So that's why all of mine that are tabbed for it are in that section. All right, next we have the Taste of Home Ultimate Freezer Cookbook, and that is this little magazine here, and this was from 2013. I started freezer meal cooking, oh goodness, 2006? No, before that. So probably around 2005, 2006. And this cookbook came out, and I've tried a ton of meals in it. I love how up front it's got a lot of really good suggestions. You can see I've gone through with highlighters before and highlighted some things, and it gives you like a deep freeze guide and different things like that. And I just love all of the tips and stuff in it. I repeatedly go back to this because sometimes it's hard to remember how, what works and some things that don't freeze well, how to save your leftovers. I've used this so much. I can't even tell you. And then it goes into the recipes, and everything in this book is a freezer meal that has been tried and tested. And then the last cookbook that I'm going to be using is the one I've told you guys about so many times. It's the the Seriously Good Freezer Meals by Carrie Truman. If you were ever going to get serious about freezer meal cooking, or if you only wanted to buy one cookbook or ask for one cookbook for Mother's Day, your birthday, Christmas, whatever it is, it's this one, you guys. This cookbook has everything in it. My pages are coming apart. This one's 2018 by Carrie Truman, and it is fantastic. It has everything in it, from appetizers to breakfast. This spicy buffalo hot chicken dip is absolutely a family favorite. My boys go crazy for it. It freezes beautifully. You can take it straight from frozen into the oven if you've got people coming over and you need an appetizer, or if you're going to go over to somebody's house last minute and want to take something, this is perfect. So those are the cookbooks that I am using for this freezer meal cooking session, and I just wanted to share it with you. All right, for real this time, take care everybody. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.